Hey guys, Mr. Marcus here, and as you can see, we're back playing some MyClub, and of course, we're into Division 10 now, which is all fine and dandy. And of course, I didn't actually change too much in this episode, as you'd expect, just going on and playing another game. But this episode's only one game long compared to the last episode, which was 2, because this guy doesn't rage quit on me. But in this episode today, it takes so long to connect to some players. I don't know if it is my connection, or if it's just Konami in general. It just takes so long to connect. But eventually it does connect to a player. Eventually, takes absolutely ages, but eventually it does connect. Eventually it does connect to Alvaro Advances, another Division 10 player who has a pretty decent team level strength of 3 as well. So basically courtesy rating of A as well, and all that jazz. So Montreal at CF, and again, team spirit is probably the most vital thing in this game, and I don't think he understands that. So he had Tello up front, Laurentian attacking midfield, Mackay, Pastore, Rafinha, Gabi, Hussein, Rafinha. He had 2 Rafinhas, my Jesus Christ. Jeremy Tulanga and Mark ter Stegen in goal. But on his bench, he didn't have that many good players, but in reserves he had the likes of Fernando Torres and Ross McCormack. Now Ross McCormack, of course, is not in the same vein as Fernando Torres, but I'm just basically saying 2 higher rated players that I know. And again, you don't need to fill out your whole reserve squad, because it just fills out the team strength thing out of whatever number for your manager. So I don't know what I'm even saying anymore. But this guy was probably the most straightforward game of football you will ever see, because he wasn't a particularly good player. No offense to Alvaro Advances if you're watching this, which I highly doubt you are, but it just was ridiculous. As in the first minutes of the match here, Ayala gets a shot away and his keeper doesn't even die for it. That's how much the keeper doesn't even want to play for the game. But literally in the first 5 minutes of the match, he actually injured Panilla, but he came back from treatment, and from literally came down the right hand side, cross center for Ayala, and Brojo comes out flying out of nowhere, gets his head onto the post, and Tarantini picks up the rebound and pops it in to make it 1-0 within the first 10 minutes. And about 7 or 8 minutes later, Tarantini again runs past 3 players, as he usually does, cuts back against another player, tried to cut back against another player, and Broja runs past Menendez. Menendez doesn't do anything. Tulala comes flying in with a slide tackle. He does get the ball, to be honest, but I get a penalty from the resulting penalty spot. I actually missed the penalty because I'm just terrible at penalties with lower rated players. When the players are higher rated, I can probably score a good amount of penalties, but lower rated players I just cannot seem to score penalties with. But in the 31st minute of the match, Pinilla actually gets his head in it from an Ambrosio cross, I think, or an Arcuvio cross, and makes it 2-0. And then about 4 or 5 minutes later, he started bringing out his goalkeeper not an immature player, but it was just a bit weird that he started bringing out his goalkeeper every single time whenever I was through on goal. And he did this quite a lot in this first half, and he did it a lot in the second half, which sort of makes for a high goal scoring record. Is that right? Probably not. But basically, it was 2-0 at half time. I couldn't get past his goalkeeper every time he brought him out, which was a bit frustrating because I had 9 shots, 5 on target, and he'd have 0 shots. And I thought, well, every single time he brings his goalkeeper out, I'd probably just chip it, because I can probably chip it better than he can, do goalkeeping. And I actually do that. I actually scored some really nice chips in this game, especially this one here with Tarantini from about 30 odd yards out. I knew the minute I had the opportunity, he would bring out his goalkeeper. He brought his goalie out, and Tarantini just pops in the back of the net to score his second goal of the game. And in the 51st minute of the match here, Tarantini again tries to chip the goalkeeper. This time I'm chipping it just wide, but from the resulting goal kick, he hits it straight to Tarantini. I just was like, well, I'll just pop it in near post. He's not defending his near post, and Tarantini scores his hat-trick to make it 4-0 for the Marcus Mafia. About 15 minutes later, about 8 minutes later actually, Arcuvio runs on his left-hand side and just waits, and gets his opportunity and scores to make it 5-0. And about 3 minutes later, Ambrosio runs down his left-hand side again. He tries to get it back to his goalkeeper, eventually gets it back to his goalkeeper, and again, I score to make it 6-0 with about half an hour, there's maybe about 20 odd minutes left in the game. And about 20 minutes, actually in the 69th minute of the match, he actually gets a straight red card there for a foul. It was actually a second yellow, but I don't know why I said straight red. And from that, I just destroyed him. Make it 7-0 in the 70th minute, make it 8-0 in the 72nd minute with Arcuvio chipping it. Now that's a really good chip there. and basically making it 9-0 in the 81st minute here with Guilherme. No, I don't make it 9-0 because Guilherme's absolutely terrible, but from really poor defending from him with Hussein Valdez skins past him, skins past Menendez, tries to get shot away, doesn't get shot away, comes out and the goalie just falls to the ground as Pinilla pops in the back of the net. And in the last minutes of the match here, Pinilla on the ball again, and he actually gets his hat-trick here as he just skins past Menendez one more time, brings out his goalie, doesn't do anything, and Menendez pops it in. So hat-trick for Menendez, hat-trick for Tarantini. And from the kickoff, I was being a bit complacent, and I just decided to give him a goal. So, being a nice person I am, chip past one player with Ter Stegen, comes out to Okubo, and Okubo pops in at an empty net to make it 10-1, because I was feeling quite bad for my opposition. So, 10-1, final score. Boom. Easy. Division 10. Simples. So, yeah, basically straightforward, as you see there. 25 shots, 15 on target. Probably should have scored 25 goals. Pinilla man of match, as you expect. So, yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe my channel for more, and catch you later.